All right, folks, let's go ahead and get going with this. 1 through 4 is just writing an augmented matrix. So you just need to write a matrix from the system of equation. Okay, so it's just that straightforward. Don't need to solve it. Just make sure you can write a matrix. So number 1, let's go ahead and take a look at that. This should look like something like 2, 3, 5. The 5 is the augmented part. 6, -7, and -1. The -1 is the augmented part. So you can write like that, or after after a while, you can just write it without the augmentation, and we would automatically know it's been augmented. Okay, so that's how you go about it. Number 2, this one should look like 1, -5, -9, 0, 6, -12. Okay, number 3, this is going to be a augmented 3x4 matrix. So 1, 4, -3, 1, 0, 3, -1, -2, -1, 0, 11, 4, right? And number 4, we have 1, 0, -1, 2, 3, 0, 7, -1, 0, 5, 1, -20, right? So those are augmented matrices. All right. So for these 3, we want to do a row echelon form, just halfway done, half baked. Okay, so it starts off with writing a matrix. So 2, 3, 5. 6, -7, -1. Right, and then we're going to go ahead and try to get in row echelon form. You could do it any way you want. You could think about how you want this done or not. All right, so let's see. What's the best way we can do this? Should we swap it? Does it matter? Right? And if you can't think of anything, then you can just totally go with it. Let's just, since this one's still pretty small, let's go ahead and do this. Let's make this let's just say, you know what? I want a 1 there right here. So we're going to go ahead and do row 2 or row 1. We're going to take half of it, multiply by 1/2. That's all we're doing. Right? So, and you know what? So what if it's ugly? Right? So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 divided by 2 is 3/2. 5 divided by 2 is 5/2. You know what? And so what? It's ugly. Who cares? We still got what we wanted. 6, -7, -1. Okay. Next, we're going to turn that 6 into a 0. So, and you guys are pretty good at this by now. We're going to go and do -6 times row 1. And then add it onto row 2. Okay. So we will get, so 1 times -6 is -6. Add 6 is 0. Okay. This one you might have to do on the side. Right. 3/2 times -6 is equal to 2 and the 6 cancels with a 3. So you get -9. See how nice that is? -9 plus -7 is -16. Okay. So the other one, 5/2 times -6. So 2 and the -6 cancels to make 3. 5 times 3 is going to be 15. So it's going to be -15. -15 and -1 is going to be -16. Huh. Interesting. See how that works? Even though it's a fraction? Get 1, 3/2, 5/2. Right? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take row 2 and multiply it by -116. Right? So by doing that, we get, so 116, -116 times 0 is 0. -116 times -16 is 1. Negative 116 times negative 16 is, sheesh. Oh, that was awful, guys. Somebody getting married, I guess. 5/2. Okay, so directions is put this in row echelon form, and this is row echelon form right here. Right, so we reached row echelon form. Now, by doing this, this bottom row, oh, actually, we're not even solving it. So, actually, we are solving it. If I remember down there, yep, number 8 says do back substitution. So far, so number 5. So we will have to solve it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So number 5, the answer so far is going to be y equals 1. So I'm going to have a 1 right here. Y is 1, but I need to find x. So I need to use the equation to find x. So that my x equation is going to look something like this. So it's going to be 1x plus 3/2 y equals 5/2. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that bottom equation because it's taking up valuable space. Okay, and I know y is 1, so I'm going to put a 1 in place of the y. So 3/2 times 1 is just 3/2. So my equation is going to be x plus 3/2 equals 5/2. And then I'm going to go ahead and solve for x by subtracting 3/2. And I get x equals, and 5/2 minus 3/2 is 2/2, which is actually 1. So x is equal to 1. That's called back substitution. So the answer is 1, 1.